He delivered last weekend, came right back and did again. This one was
Oh
aggressive, though.
man, it was
Very aggressive.
very, very, very aggressive. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, from Studio A and Studio B, or Set A, Set B of Splashcast Studios.
Correctamundo, correctamundo. Here at the Davis Estate.
Yes, sir. We are here. We are here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this pregame, episode 122 of the pregame. We're going to turn up, man. Y'all know what it is. We always come with the violence, come with the comedy, and now we're going to add a little bit of baseball. We're going to add a little bit of basketball. But right before we get into the Splashcast episode 121, man. But before we get into that, we would be remiss if we did not shout out LOA and Jasmine on one of the most epic weddings of all time. Special guests included. Shout out, and plus a wonderful, wonderful ceremony for two beautiful people. Congratulations, and we love you.
Fantastic wedding. I did have the honor of being the best man. It was a labor of love. It was a ton of fun. Jasmine and LOA are a beautiful couple, number one, and they had one hell of a wedding. As you can probably tell, I don't think I'm at 100% energy wise yet. I'm still sipping though. We ain't gonna stop that. But it's been one hell of a weekend. Happy weekend pod today. And yeah, welcome to the pregame. Let's do it, my boy.
Welcome to the pregame. So let's get started, man. We appreciate y'all. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe, and tell a friend, tell a friend. Hey, man, we be talking on Twitter. I'm sorry. We be talking on X. We be talking on Threads. We be talking on Instagram. Come,
Man, call it Twitter. I was looking. What do I look up? I can't type in X. I'm sure if I type in x.com, it will not take me to a good place. So yeah, I typed in twitter.com. Twitter
we
pulled
don't
up.
kink
It still
shame.
tweeted to me. And I still tweet. I'm not kink shaming, but I'm trying to podcast currently.
But let's get started, man. Let's get started. Y'all know what it is with the pregame. We're going to start off with some baseball. And when we start out with baseball, there is only one team to start with. One team. Hey, the Braves. The Braves. The Braves. The season is over. We are the NL regular season number one seed. You out
I
there?
had to make up my own rave, man. Y'all know I'm on location right now. I don't have my rave like y'all know what that means, but it's a hell of a celebration, man. It's been an excellent season. And yes, it's been a good closeout. Looks like we got some new merchandise, new logos.
Yeah, man, got a
Um,
new hat that was debuted by Keenan Thompson at the Braves Stadium, and he's now on Threads talking with talking about the Braves. I didn't know that Keenan Thompson was a huge Braves fan, but apparently he really, really is. So shout out to the Braves and Keenan Thompson, man. We got some new threads. I gotta get the new hat. We gotta get the new hat. It's mandatory. I got the hat with the four, you know what I mean, with the four championships, but we gotta get the new one. Gotta get the new one.
wait, I didn't know he was from Atlanta. So yeah, of course. Happy, thrilled about that. Longest tenured member at SNL, all of that. I'm gonna tell you, I do like the hat, but I'm gonna be very honest and transparent here. I'm a little afraid. The A
Uh,
has always been the signal. Going to the B for some reason just scares me. You know how I feel about the Juju. I don't feel like messing with anything, changing anything, doing anything that could shift the seismic waves of the planet, the gravitational pull, the spin of the earth, whatever it may be. But I do like the hat.
why was whoa, I'm sorry. I'm listening. I'm watching Monday Night Football, and Jamal Williams. I don't know what just happened on the sideline, but he went berserk a little bit. But yeah, man, the Braves. The Braves.
Uh,
Huh?
I think he kind of got his bell rung, and they took him out, and I think he just got in, and I don't think he wants to go out.
Oh yeah, concussion protocol. Hey man, it's tight. But yeah, we got a new hat, man. But it's the same old things going on in the Braves, dog. You right. I don't wanna mess with the Juju. But look, if we can keep this roster together, the roster that is the second team in history. You see that? History. Second team in history to have 5+ players with 30+ home runs. And we missed, and all of them were like 35 plus two. Albies, Riley, Acuna, he who shall be named, Marcell Ozuna,
Wait, hold on. Let me tell y'all
and
the
Matt Olson.
irony of it. Ozuna hits the home run that ties the record for most home runs ever hit in the season. If that's not just the MLB script writers really getting in their bag, and now he's a guy who we talked about for the majority of the season. Like, oh yeah, probably got to trade him. Probably got to trade him. Probably got to trade him. See you next year, Marcell.
What do we say about Marcell, dog? We always say that every time they get ready to get rid of him, he's in a slump or whatever, he does something.
Mike Harris slump too.
And then and then all of a sudden he comes and what does he do? Hits for a career high in home runs in a single season for him. 39 home runs. So it is what it is, man. The Braves had a historic season. They're out here playing really, really well. The bats are popping. The Braves slugged .501 this season, which is the highest by any team in Major League Baseball history. Our offense carried us. Not gonna lie to you. Our offense has carried the pitching through injuries and everything, and it just goes to show you there's nowhere to hide if you're facing the Braves. Even when we have people that are out, our guys that come in, Kevin Pillar, Nicky Lopez, all those guys that come in hitting home runs. It's like, dog, there's really nowhere to go.
It's a contagious thing. Once again, we'd be remiss if we did not congratulate Alex Anthopoulos for putting together arguably one of the best offenses in baseball history. Not in the last 10 years, not in the last 5 years, not in the last 20 years. In the entire history of baseball, America's pastime, Alex Anthopoulos, you put together this team, and the team did what it was asked. Every turn, hey, we need you to do this. And we're going to pray for the pitching. We hopefully got some days here to figure that out. But at this very moment, congratulations to you guys. And just make sure you take a small mental snapshot. And remember, this is one of the best offenses in baseball ever.
History. Y'all know baseball is super old. Like, it's super old. And we are like,
correct,
if not number one, number two base offenses in history. But we have to close the deal. We gotta get this pennant. Got to get this championship. Now, with all the issues we have had with pitching, and it's not a lack of talent or focus, lack of focus, or guys not hitting their marks. It's just injuries. Just injuries. There has been one person who has been steady. Had a couple rough starts, but any pitcher does when you start 40 games or 30 games or whatever. But Spencer Strider, in his second season, has broken John Smoltz' record for most strikeouts in a single season as a Brave already. Do you know how difficult that is to do? That I don't know if people understand how impressive that is. Go ahead.
No, what I was saying was this is year 2. Last year, he was runner-up rookie of the year, only to Mike Harris, who's played out of his mind. And then this year, Russ, what's good, brother? To come right back and be tied with Smoltz, who is in Atlanta Brave lore, in MLB lore, widely respected as one of the greatest pitchers to ever exist. Spence, you're cooking, bro. You are cooking.
Yeah, man. And what makes this even more impressive is we're in the age of pitching where you don't have a lot of people that go 7, 8, 9 innings. You normally only get out of your starting pitcher, out of your star, you're going to get 6 innings, maybe 7 if he's, really pitching really well. And of course, if he's in a no-hitter or shutout or no-hitter type thing, then you go and you let him go. But most of the time, you're only going to get 6 innings. Whereas when John Smoltz played, now I'm not going to take nothing away from John Smoltz because he pitched 9 innings, 8 innings regularly, but he also had Tommy John surgery and had to come back as a closer before going back as a starter. So we talked about it in an earlier episode. So both feats are very, very, very impressive. Shout out to Spencer Strider. It looks like you probably are going to be the linchpin of the rotation, you and Fried, going forward. Hopefully Kyle Wright can get back. He came back from one game and went right back on the IR. But you are it, man. You are it. Yes.
Quick update. Jamal Adams out with a concussion. Just 9 snaps. He hasn't played football in 385 days. That is the reason he was upset. It's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I mean, that happened to Tre'Davion White with the ACL. happened. Of
Yeah.
course, the biggest one happened with Aaron Rodgers. That's tough, man. That's tough. Uh, moving on, man. Moving on. And
What about your boy here?
just when you thought the Braves couldn't get any better, we have Matt Olson, who leads the league in RBIs and home runs. We have, or I think he's number 2 in RBIs. We have Austin Riley. We have the whole infield made the All-Star team. We to add that we have Rookie of the Years, Rookie of the Runner-Up. We have, I honestly think you could look at Rosario as for one of the most improved players. You have those. We have the pitching when we're healthy. Then you add all of that, and then you put the icing on the cake with Ronald Acuna, 40-70, 217 hits, 41 home runs, 106 RBIs, 73 stolen bases, 337 batting average, over 1.012 OPS, just to name a few of the stats. And he's going to be a Gold Glover as well. So, so to let you know, Ronald Acuna is out here, dog. This is crazy.
Unbelievable season from Ronnie Rockets. You know I got to do this. Very beginning of the season, we sat here and we talked about where we thought this team was going to be, who we thought was going to be the leader of this team. I told you, and I specifically said
Ronald Acuna, MVP.
We talked to yes.
You called that.
But not only as the best Brave, I said no. This is Ronnie's MVP season. Now, thank you to Ronnie. I'll probably owe you a fruit basket for making me look good. But this season, first of all, voters, don't mess this up. All the respect in the world to Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. I don't want to take anything away from them.
Quietly.
Oh, and I want to put Matt Olson in there. I'm not going to not put Matt Olson in the NL MVP category because if you look at his stats, they are unbelievable.
He's number 1 in hitting.
Yes. This MVP, and this is terrible. Because this is one of the years I can see like 4 co-MVPs. All 4 of those guys, 3 of them Braves,
in separate years would have won the MVP if they had this season.
Exactly. Exactly. But this one, Ronald Acuna, the first 30-60 season, and then not only did he do 30-60, he did 40-70, and he actually closed out with 41-73. That is unbelievable, otherworldly. Get the man his MVP.
Let's man. And I'm gonna be petty. Sorry, I'm sharing this live so people see this. Somebody told me to send them the link. Remember, like, follow, subscribe. There was a point in August, maybe it was July, early August, late July, when Ronnie was in a little bit of a slump. He hadn't hit the home runs. He had slowed down on stealing the bases. And everybody was like, Mookie Betts. And we went and played the Dodgers. And Ronald came back off came back off the IL. You know, they put him on like a 4-game IL. Came back off IL, and I think he like dominated Mookie Betts. They kept showing Mookie Betts every time he hit a home run. He hit 2 home runs in the first game. He hit a home run in the second game. That separated him immediately. There's an Instagram meme of like Mookie Betts as the car crossing the train tracks and Ronald Acuna smashing through him with it as the train. Pause if necessary.
Absolutely necessary. And hold on one second. I want to say Mookie Betts has been extremely gracious about this. Like,
very classy.
You know, you don't have to do that, especially y'all. I know you want the award as bad as he does, but I watched the interview that he did. And he was like, "Yeah, nobody's ever done this. It's unbelievable. It's crazy." And
on his own podcast,
I know, yes, and I know it's tough because it's the Dodgers, and like there's not beef, but at the same time, we're the 2 teams that keep running into each other. And you know, Freddie played on both teams. Whew, boy, that was close. But I just appreciate people who know. You know, I appreciate people who know grace and mercy and respect. I really appreciate that. Kudos to the Dodgers.
Yeah, man. Kudos to the Dodgers. Kudos to the Braves, man. The Braves played an unbelievable regular season, but it's not done yet. Not done
Not
yet.
done yet.
The while we get the rest of the stuff up, the postseason the bracket has been made. The first round, Phillies wild card, Phillies Marlins. Both of them are division rivals in the same division, and I think at this division, because everybody's so good most of the time, Mets, you let us down again. Whoever we play is going to be a tough out because, of course, we get the first round. We don't go to the wild card. So we end up playing the Phillies or the Marlins again. And if it's the Phillies, that's going to be an intense series. It's going to be an intense series if it's the Phillies because they knocked us out of the playoffs last year after we had just won the division after the Mets blew it. So it's going to be a tough out, but hopefully we can get this ready.
And I watched where Brian Snicker talk about, last year he kind of brought up the fact that we took that break. I think that he's basically said that they're going to do live workouts, and I think they're going to do like basically a simulated game.
They are letting fans in and running simulations. That's good.
So they're basically going to do ones versus twos, which I think is fantastic.
That's good to hear.
Let's get used to the same thing. Let's not get out of what we're doing. We're doing the right things. Let's get this pitching together. Those guys get your rest. Pitching, get your rest.
Yeah,
everybody else get your at bats, get your reps, and let's keep this thing going, man. Let's go win a championship. Let's see what 5 looks like.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. I do like the simulation and when you actually go back and if y'all go back and listen to Brian Snicker, he said, last year we decided to take time off because everybody was, nicked up, banged up. But the year we won the World Series, we was a wild card, and we just got hot. Similar to the Phillies the next year who got hot and made it all the way. It's the same thing. Yeah. So instead of, letting us get in a slump, we are like, look, we are going to go ahead and we are going to practice, which means this team is locked in. This team is locked in, and that means that tells me that I am looking for us to continue this offensive onslaught in the playoffs.
And I appreciate Brian Snicker being, aware enough to pay attention and say, hey, man, I made a mistake last year. Everybody else is making adjustments. Let's make an adjustment here. This is a big move. And I'm 100% behind it.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, man. Moving on. So, Miguel Cabrera joins Willie Mays and Hank Aaron as the only players in AL/NL history to finish their career with 300-plus batting average, 500 home runs, and 3,000 hits. Miggy retires as a Detroit Tigers legend. Is it Detroit? He was with Detroit this whole year? Or was this year?
Yes. Yeah. Baseball legend.
First Hall of Famer. Ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes.
What's sad about it is... Oh, go ahead.
Once you're in this category, you are... Just let me know. I know y'all going to do that funny Babe Ruth thing, so I can't be 100% or whatnot, but who's not going to vote for this man to go into the Hall of Fame? And if you
he never got a ring though, right? Not I'm not trying to step on his greatness. I'm saying he wasn't he didn't always have the pieces around him to he was always like a number one. Like you could pitch around Miggy and he still batted 300 plus 500 home runs and 3,000 hits, man. He was special to watch. I think he was a little bit undervalued by Major League Baseball.
2003 won a World Series.
Yeah, at the beginning of his career. And he been in the league 20 years? Wow, 20 seasons.
He is the last person to play against the Montreal Expos.
Yes, sir. The last boy, that make you sound old. That's like the last living member that you hear in church. The last surviving member. You be like, dang, dog, that sound morbid. But yeah, man, 20 years. Now that he definitely has a ring, he's got to be first ballot. It's got to be. There's no discussion. So congratulations to Miggy. Congratulations. On job well done. Job well done. So we got. Let me tell you about Juug season. So in Philly, police are looking for a 6-year-old boy at the center of a pizza gift card scam. He allegedly sold fake gift cards to support his baseball team. Listen,
I mean,
by any means,
number
this is
one, I
funny to
don't know
me.
if this picture's really this kid or not. I hope it's not, but this picture is hilarious. Number two, 6 years old. That's I like it and I'm afraid. 6 years old is so young to be a scammer. But if you start early, you'll be good. Um,
First off, now that I read through the caption, this is definitely not his. He didn't think of this. They said a 6-year-old boy was out of Illinois allegedly selling fake gift cards up to 20 miles away, and he would come fully dressed, and he would sell them buy one get one free, and then he would take off. So nah, this ain't him, or I don't think it's him.
trap or die, baby. Trap or
But that
die.
was
You
he
gotta get it how
definitely he
you live.
definitely got a mentor out there somewhere with him.
Or nah, you could just I'm gonna put it on him. I think that this man is
I'm gonna put it
young,
on the. All
he's
right, that's fine.
enterprising, and might be looking for a PPP loan soon.
You don't think he don't got one? He got 3 businesses in his name by now. What? What? He hustling 20 miles away.
Yeah. And you can't even be mad if you get jugged by a 6-year-old. Well, you got jugged, kid.
Yeah, yeah. So let's get into some basketball since we're gonna do the pregame. Let's get into some basketball. We're gonna start out with the WNBA. It's been a great, very entertaining playoffs. Rookie of the year, Aliyah Boston, averaged 14 and a half, 8.4 rebounds per game, 2.2 assists, and played really, really well on the defensive end. She was one of the few players to actually be able to hold her own against defensive player of the year, A'ja Wilson. So shout out to Aliyah Boston, rookie out of South Carolina. Dawn got that factory booming out there in Columbia.
It is getting out of hand. Ryan Howard. Now you come right back with the Aliyah Boston. You're really putting. She's changing the game. Excuse me, Ryan Howard went to Kentucky. My apologies.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I was gonna. Yeah, no.
I mean, but also I mean A'ja Wilson. So you have two players in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, yeah. So shout out to Aliyah Boston. She's only gonna get better. If you notice, she's already in her exit interview. She was already talking about what she's gonna work on in the off season. She's talking about getting in better shape and getting and getting being able to take on the load of playing multiple games. So hopefully. Not hopefully. I can't wait to see her next year. She's gonna be a monster, dog. She's gonna be a
And
monster.
and I think that it's more relevant in WNBA because they come out of March Madness and you go right basically into the WNBA season. Like there isn't a ton of time to get ready for the pros. So I think that giving her one full off season to just focus on, hey, this is what I can do with my professional assets could be a game changer. And if that is a game changer, her and the Indiana Fever are going to be very scary. And y'all better lay some shoes up tight.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Now let's get to the NBA news, man. It was media day. It was media day. Hawks had media day. Braves had not Braves. All teams had media day, but there was somebody in particular who was very, very upset. Um, Last year he wore dreadlocks to. I'm sorry. Last year he wore locks.
Thank you.
To play basketball for his picture. This man Jimmy Butler decided to come as emo Butler today for Heat Media Day. So you will see this every year, all day. This is his media picture. He's upset. He shows up full, got his hair straightened, piercings, and he says he's emo Jimmy.
I really appreciate this because I know how passionate he is as a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a funny way to address it. Also, I mean, I know that Adam Silver is somewhat thrilled because on media day, when a lot of these guys are not really trying to give you much, Jimmy Butler steals the show. He said he's still committed. Like, congratulations, Dame, for getting to a place that wants him there, but he is committed to beating Giannis and Dame and winning a championship. There's nothing that you can't like about Jimmy. He's Jimmy. And we need more basketball players like this who genuinely love the game. They love all parts of the game. Jimmy's
And
an asset to the NBA.
this was Jimmy's reaction to the Bucks trade. Uh,
Y'all need to look into the Bucks for tampering. Y'all do. I'm just gonna put that out there. Y'all didn't hear it from me, but I heard it through somebody. Y'all look at them for tampering. Yo, NBA.
Jimmy was big pissed over over the news, which of course the main news that we're talking about. Dame Dollar gets traded from the Bucks. I'm sorry, from the Blazers to the Bucks in a 3-team trade that involved the Phoenix Suns as well. Dame goes to well, actually, it's kind of a 14 trade now. Dame goes to the what's happening? Wow, football. Dame goes to the Bucks. What happened? Dame goes to the Bucks. Jrue Holiday goes to the Blazers. DeAndre Ayton goes to the Blazers. Yusuf Nurkic and a couple other players go to the Suns. And then it was
If you go down to New Look Blazers, we can run through. We can just go.
Oh, trade details. Didn't see that. That's what I'm looking for. So here it is.
Yeah.
So that's the new look right now. Go ahead. You got it.
Wait, this was actually okay. That this was the original. This is the trade itself. Now, after this trade, there were moves to be made. There were moves that were made, and then after this, there will be more moves. But Dame is now a Buck. Jrue Holiday was momentarily a Blazer. He's now been moved to the Celtics. Ayton is a Blazer. I don't know this other guy.
Yusuf Nurkic.
Oh, no. Nurkic, I know. Nurkic is now a son. Grayson Allen, a son. Nasir Little, a son. And Keon Johnson. I like the trade for the Suns. I know that Nurkic is tricky because he's hurt a lot. But Ayton was getting paid so much money. The Blazers needed a guy who could do a little bit, but they need to also be able to reallocate some of this money. They need more bodies. Mm-hmm. So this gave him an opportunity to kind of get off of Ayton's contract, a guy who I think had run his course in Phoenix. I think that Matt Ishbia, he was trying to clear house of anything that he could consider bad juju. That's the reason Chris Paul was gone. That's the reason Monty Williams is gone. And now finally, this is the reason DeAndre Ayton is gone. This also, funny enough, leaves Devin Booker as the only remaining player from the championship run that they had with the Phoenix Suns.
Finals run. No champ.
Correct.
So, and then after that was done, Jrue Holiday was then immediately, and when I say immediately, within 24 hours, was shipped to the Boston Celtics for Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, and a few picks. So the new look Blazers are now DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, they're actually trying to move Malcolm Brogdon, Jeremy Grant, plus the 3 young guys, Anthony Simons, Scoot Henderson, and I can't remember the last one's name. Shaedon Sharpe. So they have a good young core, and they have a bevy of picks and money. So this is pretty good. Where do you think Brogdon's going to end up, though?
So I've read different reports. On one end, they say that they're trying to move him. I don't think that they're necessarily in a rush to move him. I will probably slow play it. They have a bunch of young guards. Malcolm Brogdon is a pro's pro. They call him Mr. President, the way that he speaks and the way that he carries himself. When you have this amount of really young guards, I think it is invaluable to have a guy who can show them how to be a professional on a daily basis. I know Anthony Simons got a lot of that from Dame, but also you got Scoot Henderson, and you want these guys to basically be the face of your franchise going forward. I think that they slow play with Malcolm Brogdon, get closer to the playoffs, and see, hey, who's interested in that guard? Somebody's going to get hurt. They're going to need a guard who can play, who can. I like Brogdon because he can hold it in the role. He can score a little bit. He can still facilitate. He's a leader. Somebody's going to need him. I don't have to sell it. I don't have to sell this guy right now just because he's on the team. He doesn't have to. He's not going to start, but he can come off the bench. run that second squad, and be perfectly fine until a team needs him.
If I'm Philadelphia, I'm looking at a way to facilitate a trade like this. You need, especially with James trying to get out of there. I'm looking at a way to
who did not show up
get
for media
Malcolm
day.
Brogdon. You said what?
Who did not show up for media day? James Harden.
James Harden did not show up for
Also,
media day.
once again, sleeper team here for me, the Utah Jazz. If you could get a guy who plays defense, who could help facilitate for Laurie, John Collins, and Walker Kessler, if he could be had at for a reasonable player, then yeah, I might be interested in flipping him just because I think he's a better facilitator than the guys that you got now.
Yeah, somebody that needs bench work though. I don't know of what team needs bench work. Because Malcolm Brogdon is not your starter, not in this league, but Orlando is another place that could use him off the bench. There's a lot of good middle of the road teams that could use him, and honestly, the Lakers. I mean, you could bring him in, come off the bench.
They ain't got nothing to give me. But I might be interested in trading one of those young guards from Orlando for a veteran. I think that would be, because I feel like Orlando has guards, but they still need to move some of those guys. And I need a guy who can show everybody else, hey, this is how you do it.
That's fair.
I agree with that. The other part about that is you gotta talk to the player about what's in his long-term plans. He might be contender only.
Yeah, it might be. Denver
Denver
might look at him.
And his age, you can't. I mean, what are you gonna say? Like, nah, send me to a contender, or I want to go home. Now, I will tell you the interesting part about this trade, and I guess it's not super interesting. Well, maybe it is to me. I really like Robert Williams. I think that he has one of the best contracts in the NBA. I know he hasn't been healthy, but if he is healthy, do you maybe move Jeremy Grant? If he can get healthy, I'm probably interested in moving Jeremy Grant. Now, I know that will be like a weird double center look, but being that Ayton can score and he can space the floor, you can always put Robert Williams in the middle, and then you have a lot of good rim protection. And they both can move. So they can, they're pretty decent on the perimeter as well.
I don't know if you... I would probably trade. I don't know if I would trade Jeremy Grant, or I might trade Jeremy Grant for a cheaper version of Jeremy Grant. I don't know if I would start Robert
Jeremy
Williams.
Grant's expensive.
Yeah, I don't know if I would start Robert Williams, but I don't know if you can get off Jeremy Williams off that contract. I don't know if you can get off that contract. I don't know any team that would be willing to take that, unless you would say maybe no team with a power forward. There's no team with a power forward to give away.
I don't know of a team.
Toronto, go get Pascal. You could Toronto and go get Pascal. That probably works.
Question for you.
Let's veer off. Let's go. I'm with it.
John Collins for Jeremy Grant.
They'll make the same amount of money. John Collins at $25 million a year.
Jeremy Grant is at what?
Didn't he sign like 4 years, 160 or something like that?
Yeah, but also Utah is not like near the cap.
I would. I don't know. I don't.
I mean, I think
I would hate that for John. I would hate that for John.
You would hate. Why?
Good guy. I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I would do that. But while you look that up, I do want to bring up something funny. For all of you basketball fans, I need you guys to let me know. Please let me know.
Yeah.
Worthy.
Oh, Stu, back in New York. What's up,
brother? What's up, Sneaky? What's up, Sneaky? What's up, Sneaky too? What's up, Kev? What's up, Worthy? Let me show you this real quick, and let me get your reaction live. I want to see you laugh. I did not know that this was an actual nickname. I thought that you couldn't give yourself your own nickname. I thought people had to give you a nickname. I don't know anybody, and y'all let me know, basketball fans. I don't know any basketball people that have ever called DeAndre Ayton dominating. Ever. in any facet.
Time out. So the first time, like this is a thing for him now. As soon as he got traded, they showed this video of the other
Touring
guy
the
who got
facility.
traded and him, and he introduced himself. I am DeAndre Ayton dominating. And I said, I mean, I was right. I'm on Instagram. Boy, nobody's ever called you that. Never in your life. And as soon as immediately everybody's like, what? Boy, this is Cat. Where did you come? It out of nowhere. I've been around for a while. I don't know I don't think you can give yourself a nickname. Number two, if you're dominating, what happened when Giannis gave you them 50 on twos? Please tell me what your name was that day. Please.
I already told you what it was. It was
name.
wet cardboard box. He ran through you like a wet cardboard box in a butcher shop. It was over with. 50 on twos on 90% shooting. No free throws. Done. Over with. DeAndre, and you out there west now. You I mean, you've been in the west, but you out there. Aren't they in the Nuggets division?
Yes.
All right.
Good
You're going
luck.
to have a chance to dominate. You're going to have a chance to dominate,
this-
brother. Because they're going to run through you.
I love when players get what they ask for. Ultimately, at this point, you're the highest paid guy on this team.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the man. So you need to be the man. I don't want to hear nothing about you got young guards. You got guys who can score.
Exactly.
You're the man. And you need to dominate.
If you're dominating, why are you in Portland and not Phoenix anymore? Well, he also didn't. He never dominated in DeAndre. I said this so many times, but we'll move on because I don't want to belabor the point. We got a lot to talk about today. But DeAndre, I would always talk bad about him, and then you would be like, I mean, he's averaging like 22 and 12. I mean, he would have the quietest 24 and 12 season of all time.
Games, little influence.
Yeah, and like any other, and that's what always caught me off guard. That's what always caught me off guard when I would see his stats. I was like, if this was any other player, if you average 24 and 12, you're in the MVP conversation. Any other player. There's nobody that has averaged 24 and 12 that I can think of that was not at least in the MVP conversation, most improved conversation, first team all NBA conversation. 24 and 12 get you accolades. That tells you that they really did not like this dude. They really did not like this dude.
I feel like he's the guy who flourishes against guys who he should be. But anytime that you go against somebody who is equal to or better than you, then you just shrink. And I understand, the points and the rebounds, that's all well and good. But also, you need to show up when it's time to show up. And I don't think that he does that. Monty Williams kind of called him out for not showing up. But once again, man, everybody deserves a second chance. Sometimes you need to be in a different situation, but this is your second chance. And you are the man because they spent the money on you. So let's see what you can do, my guy.
Script writers. We would love to see a first round matchup, maybe a 2 versus 7. Blazers, Suns. We'd love to see it. It's not far off. Not far off with that team they got now. It's not far off.
The West is a gauntlet, though. I mean, you think they're better than OKC?
They could be.
Ooh.
I think they could be.
We check back.
OKC does have a center now.
Yes.
That's what they've been missing for a decade is a center. They got one now.
I mean, they got a center. They have a power forward. OKC has a full roster now. They have so many players. They're about to start looking at trading people. And that is interesting because you got to think Denver coming back. Memphis going to be there. Sacramento could be a team potentially fall off. Phoenix will be back. Clippers, I mean, you don't know if they're going to be healthy or not. Golden State should be interesting. The Lakers have to be there. OKC, Zion is back and apparently skinny. You still got the Mavericks. The Jazz got better. The Rockets got better. The Spurs got Wembanyama. The West is a top to bottom gauntlet.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. So to wrap this trade stuff up, because we never did talk about the Bucks, man. The Blazers traded Dame for DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, temporarily Malcolm Brogdon. That's his name, Toumani Camara, and 3 picks and 2 pick swaps. I mean, and at the end of the day, they traded Dame to the Bucks. It's not like they did. I mean, even though it did come out that Dame said, if I can't go to the Heat, then I would like to rescind my trade request. And then he was like, nah, I do agree with that. Like, nah, you can't request a trade and be like, nah. Like, nah, it's irreparable.
Hey, I'm gonna quit this job, and nah, dog, I had to call HR and start looking for a new one.
Where are they? I don't think Scoot fights Ayton. I think Ayton is gonna flourish in a new scenery.
Yeah, and I think that Scoot is going, for right now at least, DeAndre Ayton is going to be the best big you can get. So you got to find a way to help him be the best him. The leadership portion is the point that I have questions about. But I'm super high on Anthony Simons. I think that he's a guy who can do a little bit of everything, shoot, pass. You know, he's got the size to play defense.
He don't play no defense. Now you compare him to Zach LaVine. You
he has the size to play defense. I think that, you know, now it's on coaching. I think that this team should be a little bit more defensive minded. I think that Scoot should probably be a little bit more active on defense. And you got some guys who could play defense. Defense for me is more effort than technique. If you're trying, that's half the damn battle. And you guys are going to need to try, or you're going to get whooped now. It's not just going to go out here and score a bunch of points. That's not going to be it. Y'all going to have to play some defense in order to be good.
So the Bucks, how this all actually started was, well, publicly started was Giannis said, I ain't committing to signing no contract extension. And when he said that, the Bucks, even though they did not, oh, Geno Smith, did he get hurt? Dang. Even though they did not consult with Giannis on this, Giannis made it very, very, very clear that y'all better do something or I'm out. So he went and got Dame. What's interesting about getting Dame is when they asked Giannis about getting Dame, he still doubled down and said, I still ain't gonna sign no extension this year. Like, y'all crazy. And everybody's like, why are you not signing an extension? His response, money is not important, but a lot of fucking money is important. In his media day. So he's still gonna want that money. So I don't know if this is the final move that they make in getting Dame. I mean, they do have a strong team, man. They defensively they can cover up Dame. I mean, they can do whatever they need to do. But Giannis still they're gonna have to still pay Giannis.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay him. Yes, you should pay him. He's the second best player in Bucks history, behind Lou Alcindor. So yeah, you need to pay him. You need to. I mean, outside of that, I think he'll sign the contract. I think he's more than interested in coming back.
He said he wants to come back.
I think that he likes Milwaukee. I think he likes it. I think he likes the town and the city of Milwaukee. I think that he likes that organization, and the organization cares enough to go get you Dame, bro. Whatever you've kind of asked for, they've placated to. And if somebody does right by you, you know, most people are inclined to stay there and do right by them. I think he's a lifetime Buck, to be completely honest. And this Dame pick and roll, he's scary to me.
What are your expectations for the Bucks now? This has to be
Eastern Conference Championship.
So you think that they're past the 76ers? Yeah, I saw that. Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yes.
Kayvon Thibodeau heard me talking shit.
At this, yeah, he did. He was talking shit yesterday. At this point, the 76ers are the asterisk to me. Until they figure out what they're going to do with James Harden, I can't speculate where or what they're going to be. James Harden is too much money. And like I told you earlier today, if Embiid is going to get mad if James doesn't play, and they don't make a trade. Daryl Morey, you can't keep playing with Embiid. Embiid will get you fired because they don't want to lose Embiid. And if it's got to be a decision between Daryl Morey or Joel Embiid the MVP, then Daryl Morey, pack your bags. Or don't pack your bags. We'll send them to you. But we're not going to lose one of the best players in the NBA because you won't trade James Harden. Especially then, you could probably keep James Harden.
Yeah, that has always been the thought for me. If you're in that predicament as an owner, I would be conducting interviews. Like, I wouldn't let Daryl Morey make any other. I would all the Georgia Bulldogs, when they had Mark Richt, they were committed to Mark Richt, and Kirby Smart came available, or Kirby Smart told them he's ready to become a head coach. They pulled Mark Richt out of a 5-star recruit's home. His name was he plays for the DeAndre Smith, plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. Caught the game-winning touchdown in the championship game for Alabama against UGA. What people don't understand is that he was committed to UGA until they fired Mark Richt, and Georgia said, "We don't care. We go get off the field, get out." They pulled him out of the house. What I'm saying is the Philadelphia 76ers, y'all gonna have to pull Daryl Morey out of somebody's house. He don't need to be there no more. If you gonna lose, I can see if you're gonna lose James Harden, because I ain't really the biggest James Harden fan when it comes to his tactics of getting what he wants. But it's part of when you become one of the best players of all time, in terms of the most revolutionary scorers of all time. I don't say best players of all time. Revolutionary scorers of all time.
Wait. He's led the NBA for the last 2 years in assists, and he's a revolutionary scorer. He's one of the best of all time.
Whatever, that's debatable. But
I mean,
what I'm saying is,
top 75 got to put you one of the best.
I don't that top 75 controversial now, but
not him.
But well, anyway, what I'm saying is, if I can keep James Harden and I can keep that Daryl Morey, you gotta go, dog. And they got all these. This is their time. Their window is now. And if you lose Joel Embiid,
that's the part.
I don't know how you
really
recover.
James Harden, it's not pissing off Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is trying to win a championship, and if you can't, I don't think he cares if James stays or goes. I think he understands James' point of view. I think that James is pissed off because Daryl Morey told him he was going to get paid, and he didn't. Well, that's fine. And I think that Embiid, like Embiid said a bunch of times, I'm not going to get in anybody else's money. But that means you got to move him. You can't have him not come to the game, not come to media day, not start the season. Then you got to fix the problem. That's it. Fix the problem, or we're going to fix the problem, and you'll be the problem, and we'll fix you.
So it's interesting, man. We will see how. I think the trade deadline is like February or something like that. We will see how the first 6 months of the NBA rolls out, man, because it's going to be very, very interesting. One person who has become synonymous with John Collins in Atlanta. The way that John Collins was in Atlanta, and they was like trade him, and he was in trade rumors every single year.
Yeah,
it's now Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero has survived another offseason of trade rumors. And he says until next summer, as he posts that.
See, I think you got to be careful about stuff like this. You made it through the summer. You ain't made it through the trade deadline, buddy. And I want to be very clear. I think they want to move you. I do think they want to move Lowry more, but
I don't think they can move Lowry.
They're gonna try their damnedest. At this point, I don't think. You throw him back into the starting rotation. He was on the bench last year.
You have to have a suitor or somebody willing to take on Kyle Lowry's contract, if it's 1 year, in order for that to happen. Now, you may be able to get him to the Lakers and let him come off the bench and be leadership in a Bulldog. LeBron would like all of that, but I don't see many
so
teams.
Much money. You would have to trade everything.
He's 30. Any 35 million?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. They're not
years old.
They're not gonna get you. There's nowhere for Kyle Lowry to go.
Oh, it's bad. Kyle Lowry attends media day but refuses to speak to the media. Oh, it's bad.
Miami got to figure it out. But yeah, man. So
is this the last year on his contract?
I'm sure it is.
You just buy him out? I don't think that's the answer.
No, because he could still contribute, so you wouldn't buy him out. But Hey man, you could always just sell your tickets for $2 like the Pistons did. The Pistons at Rockets game on March 31st is $2. The Pistons.
Hey, you know what? You know what's tricky about this is probably like the
Going to be
NBA
a good
futures
game.
game.
I would buy that right.
Yeah.
If I were in Houston, I would buy that ticket. I would buy courtside seats for for whatever they are, because the Pistons have first of all, the Pistons also can make trades, and they have an opportunity to make a really big leap in the East, because the East is not as strong as the West. The Rockets are a fun team to watch, but $2 it costs more for a hash brown, which is also inflation. Inflation is crazy.
The Rocket, didn't it used to be 99 cents for a hash brown?
For 2.
You're right. But yeah, I will 100%. I'm actually looking this up right now.
With Kyle Lowry, you looking up Kyle Lowry's?
No. Kyle Lowry is 100% in the last year's contract. It's just $30 million. But for me, I will go see this game. I think that the Rockets have a team now. Don't forget, they got Fred VanVleet. They got Green at the 2. They got your boy Dylan the Villain at the 3. Jabari Smith at the 4. And Alfred Sengun. That team that's a 5. That's a solid 5. Still got Tari Eason, got some pieces off the bench. And then, the Pistons, they got Wiseman. They got Thompson. They got the 2 guards. Like, this is not going to be this type of stuff frustrates me, because like people overreact to this type of stuff, like, oh, this is going to be trash. Nah, fam. This
what are
could
you talking
actually about? Like, this could be a really good game.
Oh yeah. But I mean, as of last year, the game was boo boo. So I see why it's $2. But if that's why I said, if I was gonna do it now, I would buy those tickets. I definitely buy those tickets. Hey, I really hope this happens. Y'all know there was a lot of layoffs at one of the sports networks. One person that got was Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Well, it has been reported by Knicks Fan TV that Mark is in the Garden. Knicks and Mark Jackson are working on a deal to have Jackson call some games in place of Clyde Frazier. Which would be awesome, man. I think they're also trying to bring Jeff Van Gundy on too, but I think Jeff has a few suitors from other networks. But that would be great, man. Mark definitely deserves. Him and Jeff him and Jeff and that team are a really good broadcasting tandem.
Man,
unit.
Get this man off calling games and start letting him coach games. I think that once again, he's going to be a guy who's going to be calling games. I think he's a better coach than Tom Thibodeau. And Knicks, you might need to bring him down. And I don't know how many more seasons Tibbs gets. I think this should be an interesting one, because the East is if you want to say it's the easier conference, you gotta show something.
Yeah, you do. But yeah, we hope Mark gets the job and comes back. Hey, before we transition to the last topic, this Seattle Seahawks New York Giants game, they are fighting like every drive. This is intense. Yeah. This is intense.
I think that, for New York, I think it's must win at this point. If you lose this one, then it's tight. But yeah.
Wait. You brought up Kyle Lowry. So, if you're trying to get rid of Kyle Lowry, and there's a team that is not going to be good, and I don't think this team is going to be good, and they also have a player that they look like they probably are trying to move on from.
Houston.
Yes, Worthy. What about sending him to Charlotte? Kai Jones has been sent away from Charlotte indefinitely. He has it's not been officially reported. They say it isn't directly related to him calling out teammates. They think it's for the team is in constant communication with him. Think it's for more of a mental health aspect. If you've been following the NBA offseason, Kai Jones has been very vocal on social media, calling out his organization, calling out his teammates, telling everybody that he's the best player in the league. He can beat LeBron, all of this stuff. if you are the Miami Heat and you're trying to get rid of somebody, you could package Kyle Lowry with a pick and get off that salary and bring Kai Jones back and then try to sign somebody else. Because first off, T's and P's for him. We want to make sure that he's okay. But if all things are in the clear,
yeah,
why not?
I did see something from one of his former teammates, Greg Brown, and he said, "Man, this is just Kai. These people just don't know him. He's extremely confident. He's always like this." Now, I do.
Nah, I saw them videos.
I agree, but I don't know, man. I hope, number one, I can't speak for anybody else. I hope he's all right. But if he is, I mean, I know they just signed what's his name to come back, so there's not really a spot for him anymore. Yeah, you might have to move on from him.
And he's a big, and Miami needs bigs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Lowry and the Hornets. I'll be completely honest, man. I don't see a lot of places that are interested in Lowry. Like
you'd have to pay somebody to get rid of him. You have to pay somebody to get rid of him. But the thing about Kai Jones that I wouldn't, while I do think for him getting off of the Kyle Lowry contract, I don't know if he would fit in the culture because I could see Jimmy Butler going smooth Draymond on Jordan Poole. We're talking all that I'm better than you, all that other stuff. I'm confident, blah 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 blah. Because Jimmy gonna try you, and if you and Jordan Poole and Draymond, it came out that Jordan Poole told Draymond that you're an expensive backpack for 30, and Draymond, and that's what caused Draymond to, steal off on him, amongst other things that was said. I don't know why this is still being reported, but
Yeah, for me, I think that it's a little weak.
To report it or for somebody to say that?
Huh?
To report it or for him to get mad and say that you're an expensive backpack for 30? Or for hitting him for saying that? Which part is weak?
For hitting him. Like I think it's a joke. I think it is disrespectful. But I don't think this is punch-worthy.
I think Draymond ain't had no jokes. I think once you run out of jokes and things to say back, and when stuff starts to hit home, especially last year when he was such an offensive liability, especially the last couple of years, and Curry has been cooking, and Clay was out, and it was basically they were carrying the squad scoring wise. And I'm not going to diminish Draymond's impact as an overall game and defensively, passing, screening, setting up the offense, but when it came to scoring, he wasn't it. And that's what Jordan Poole was trying to allude to, but he was also being disrespectful. Because Draymond talk trash too now. You can't be a trash talker and then get mad when somebody trash you back and you punch him.
I hate when people, you can't be tough and be sensitive. You got to pick one and stay there. If you talk trash and when somebody talk back, you got to rock with it. I don't think it was punch-worthy. I also don't think he probably should have said that. And I think that you probably ruined your chance at being a key part of the Golden State Warriors and winning more championships. I think your championship time is over.
You think Jordan Poole ruined his chance or Draymond did?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in all of this, you threw Draymond a life raft when he did not have one.
Yeah, Draymond was out of there. I don't know if he was out of there, but he wasn't. They had just paid Jordan Poole. They were going to try to figure out a way to get rid of Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond had come to grips with it. He said, it's the NBA. I get it, and then you do this, and I go back to when it originally happened. Nobody was mad. Nobody moved around fast. Like, they just kind of like, he punched him.
Geno's out. Geno Smith update. Watching Monday Night Football, y'all. Geno Smith out. Looks like a high ankle sprain.
Who did
I forgot his name. Jrue Lock from Missouri. That like Jeezy. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the pregame episode 122 of the Splash Cat of the pregame. We've come to the end of episode 122 of the pregame. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be right back. Go get yourself a beverage. I know it's Monday. Some of y'all need to unwind. If you don't drink, go ahead and get you some soda, get you some water, get you some tea. Unwind with the Splash Cast. We will be right back. Listen to the Splash Cast. I believe this is going to be a 36 boy.
Probably. I'm telling y'all, I'm traveling tomorrow. I will try to finish the playlist tomorrow. I think 36 though. I got to go back and listen to the J. Cole verse. I heard it's one of the best of the year. Lil Wayne put out a little mixtape. Uh, Meek and Rick Ross ramping up for an album release. They got one called Shaq and Kobe. Good music on the way.